history, there have been tales of the creatures that lurk in the night, leaving only death and destruction behind. Present from the Middle Ages to modern television. Well, it's an interesting tale, but there is some truth within it. Us, vampires, do exist. And while some choose the more traditional path of the general maiming and killing and blood-sucking, others choose a more productive and modern lifestyle. So, to all those vampires who don't conform to stereotypes and avoid sucking human blood in the night, welcome to the 3rd annual Vampire Support Group session. Address your problems in a more positive manner than lurking and killing. We welcome all vampires, from the newly turned to the centuries old.
Man, feels like it's been forever since we've seen each other.
Oh, please! It's only been a year! Be nice, Catherine. He's new to this. To anyone who's hungry, we have a cooler of sheep's blood syrup in the hallway, courtesy of Penelope's farm out in the country.
If anyone would like to purchase more blood in the future, my doors are always open. Finding judgment-free ways to procure blood is a difficult task for those pretending to be human. I have a variety of animals to choose from, and the blood is always drawn humanely. See, I have chickens and cows. What? It doesn't hurt to let me put an advertisement from time to time. It's so hard to find buyers and there's such specific requirements.
Well, if everyone would like to be seated, I think we can begin.
So sorry I'm late, everyone. I had it down for 3:30 a.m. instead of 3 a.m. I always forget to check the website.
That's all right, Lillian. We're just getting started. Now, who would like to go first?
Not this again.
Sarah, this is a safe space. William, you can go.
I've talked about this issue before, but these nightmares continue to plague and haunt me, giving me no respite, leaving me restless throughout all hours of the day.
William, we don't need to sleep.
They always start the same way. I'm walking through a park, all alone,
How tragic!
on a sunny day. And then, against my will, I end up in that one Italian restaurant, the one with the breadsticks, what are they called?
Olive Garden?
Olive Garden, that's the one. And so I sit down at a table and all around me are couples enjoying dates. I'm the only one in the whole restaurant who's alone. And then
Full of beds? No. Full of beds! Well, your dreams are stupid. Sarah.
No, she's right. And if he wants to stop having these nightmares, he could just not sleep like the rest of us.
I find that sleeping helps me connect with the little humanity I have left. My last high to a time I was truly alive.
God, you need to chill.
Oh, leave him alone. The urge to feel alive is, well, understandable. Yes, exactly. We just need to be supportive of one another. If you were just going to be judgmental, then why did you come, Sarah?
Excuse me? I am not being judgmental. Just honest. I came here.
Hello? Is anyone here?
Who's that? Are we supposed to be getting anyone new? I don't think so.
Well, should we go open up the door for her? Of course. It would be rude not to.
Sorry. I just let myself in.
Hello. Yes, hello. Who are you?
My name is Nora.
Oh, well, how nice.
What are you doing here?
I would like to become a vampire.
Oh, sorry, miss, but I think you have the wrong place.
You all are vampires. Why else would you be up at 3 in the morning? I want one of you to turn me. Make me a vampire.
Agnes? Why did you have to put up a banner? I was trying to be welcoming.
Sorry, young Nora, but this meeting is for vampires only. I am going to ask you to be. What? No, I am not leaving here until one of you turns me into a vampire.
I'll do it.
No!
We are not turning you into a vampire.
You don't want to be a vampire, honey.
Actually, I definitely do. I've thought about this for a while now. I'm committed. Really?
And how did you find out about this meeting? You can't try to tell me you're going for a stroll at 3 in the morning.
I saw your website.
Admit!
To be fair, no one ever makes it to the SIDS page of Google. I thought obscurity was enough security. Oh well, lesson learned.
Can we get back on topic?
We will not be turning you into a vampire!
I'll do it.
You will not!
Nora, being a vampire really isn't that great.
Really? You guys are immortal! You don't die! I need that, so if you won't turn me, then point me in the direction of somebody who will.
Well, the role of vampires would change if you asked, but you don't want that. Being human is much better than living forever. You'll be happier.
Okay. How do I find a real vampire?
I think you missed the point, but
Lillian, you might want to stop talking. And dear, the real vampires are not someone you want to mess with. They are bad news. So?
you could get hurt.
That's a risk I am willing to take.
Look, here we try to maintain a very positive environment, but I think we could all agree that we would all much rather be human. You could become a vampire, but you would regret the decision eventually. Immortality grants perspective, but with it comes many, many regrets.
For you, maybe.
Look, you clearly seem to be very determined, but you should listen to them. Us. Listen to us.
She clearly doesn't want to. I've got an idea. What? How about a little wager? If we can convince you that becoming a vampire isn't a good idea, you agree not to go looking for the rural vampires. And if you can't, if you still think it's a good idea, Lillian will turn you.
Yeah. And in 200 years, we regret your decisions. Well, let's say I told you so, as much as we want.
Deal! You have until the morning to convince me. Actually, we have to leave before the sun rises, so we don't burn ourselves.
Right. Penelope, do you think this is a good idea?
What's life without a little risk?
Well, since it was your idea, do you have a plan to convince her?
Not quite.
Seriously?
I'm waiting.
How about we just go around and tell a little bit about our personal experiences?
I'll go first.
Of course you will.
Being a vampire is a life, well, not a life, of struggle. You spend your long, endless nights alone. You can't consume garlic or look at yourself in the mirror.
Why?
Well, garlic kills us.
No, I mean, why would you spend your nights alone?
Well, no one understands us. They fear us.
I have not once met someone with a genuine fear of vampires. Most people don't think you exist, and I don't really think that they would care if you did. Humanity has way bigger problems. Sure, you might trend on social media for like a few months, but then the newness would fade and you guys would be mostly ignored. This isn't medieval times. We don't just burn people at the stake if we suspect them of witchcraft or being a vampire or whatever.
Well,
That's ridiculous, honey. Witchcraft isn't real. Ignore William. He's lonely because he's annoying and doesn't have any friends. The rest of us aren't the isolated nobodies he makes us out to be. I am a redhead! But there is a certain disconnect between us and humans. It's harder to uphold relationships when we lead such different lifestyles.
No sun definitely limits your options.
Well, my friends could find workarounds. Right before 8th grade graduation, we had this huge slumber party. There was like 10 girls there. There's plenty of stuff to do at night. Plus, I've always been a night owl, so this wouldn't be much of a change for me.
Oh, I miss the sun. I can barely remember it now.
It's a big ball of fire out in space. There's nothing to miss.
There is something to miss. It's
So is a heated blanket. What's your point?
I miss sunsets.
And sunrises.
So do I.
You do?
Yeah. So?
Wait, aren't you guys both, like, really old? How do you even remember them?
I didn't for the longest time. I had almost completely forgotten them until a few years back I saw some pictures online and I almost started crying. They brought back memories from when I was young, really young, before I was a vampire. I remember my parents for the first time in decades and all the things I lost. I just want to say that being a vampire is an existence of losing things, again and again, until you become numb.
Jesus! Way to bring down a room, Agnes!
Sarah, how old are you guys? I stopped keeping count a while ago.
You should never ask a woman that! But 197, if you must know.
83.
Wouldn't you like to know?
103.
Old enough.
Born in the 1600s. You do the math.
And you?
Oh, I'm 17.
How long have you been 17?
For about 3 years now.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you think of being a vampire?
We're doing me now? Well, it was hard graduating high school. I had to switch to one of those at-your-own-pace online forums. And now I just don't know what to do with my life. I mean, do I go to college and get a degree, work 40 hours a week for years just to get retirement money that won't last forever? Do I do nothing? I mean, I don't need to eat or sleep, but without money I'd miss out on other things that life has to offer, like movies and amusement parks and other things. I don't know. There's just really not a lot of long-term options for me.
But you have options, though.
I guess, but I would rather be wasting my life and money away at college rather than my parents' basement.
So then go to college. My older sister did, and she can hardly count to 10.
It's a little more complicated than that. The problem is there aren't many places for me to go with a degree. I'm a vampire. Not many people want to hire someone who drinks blood and can only work at night.
You could become a doctor. There's access to blood, and they have a night shift.
I feel that stealing blood would be frowned upon. Plus, that's way too much work.
You could become an EMT. Night shift again, and straight blood is part of the job description.
True, but that blood is unsanitary, isn't it?
You could work for an insurance company. They're completely soulless.
Hey! I still have morals. I think I'll just live in my parents' basement until I make a decision. I mean, hey, I do have time.
Exactly.
Listen, I think this isn't productive. Someone else should go.
All right, I'll go. Thank you. I've always been one to make the best out of the tour situation. During the plague, I once started a business hauling away the bodies.
Wait, did you?
No, I got found. Anyway, when I was bitten, my future was taken away from me. I didn't get to do what I always wanted to. I was going to form my own business that helps others plan for their futures. I still made my own business, but now it's one that sells blood, which I guess is just as good. Nora, you were born in a time with more opportunities than ever before. There are infinite doors before you. Don't limit yourself like this. There's a better future waiting out there for you. One that doesn't run at business hours to when the sun isn't out. You guys don't seem to understand. This is my choice. It's the door I'm choosing to walk through, or whatever your analogy was supposed to mean. I want this future. I want immortality.
But there are better options out there. A real life is better than one that goes on forever.
And why is it what you guys have considered a real life?
Because we don't get to experience the joys of life, like relationships, daytime, permanent banners, the smell of Italian food.
Our lives are burdened. Dear Lord, is meaning.
Also, aren't we technically not alive? Or am I mixing that up with something else?
No, you're technically right. We are dead. No heartbeats.
Heartbeats are overrated.
What? I don't even know how to respond to that.
Nora, I feel like you should take your heart for granted like that. It's what's keeping you alive. We all wish we had what you had.
You all really hate your immortality that much? Yeah. I feel like you guys have been wasting a huge opportunity.
Hey now, I've only had this for 3 years. Cut me some slack.
Fair, but the rest of you,
What do you think we should be doing?
Yes, a woman's teenager of infinite wisdom. Bestow upon us just a portion of your vast intelligence.
well, you could be doing anything you want now with practically no consequences. If you were to jump off a cliff or climb a mountain, you wouldn't die. Yet you sit here complaining about your lives to little Miss Teenager of infinite wisdom. Honestly, all of this is kind of starting to sound like a you problem.
What makes you think that there are no consequences in our lives?
I said practically.
Same difference. Just because our rules are different doesn't mean that they don't exist. You seem to be so caught up in immortality that you aren't even paying attention to the other aspects. Yes, like mirrors. No one has talked about the obstacle of having no mirrors. I have no idea what my look like when I leave my house at night.
I too cannot stand that. I miss my face.
Do you guys know how conceited you sound? What if I have something stuck in my teeth? It's out of place.
Well, stuff like that isn't going to bother me because I'm not incredibly self-absorbed. But you two really sound like you're struggling with that.
It's more inconvenient than it appears.
I'm sure.
Oblivious child. It's not just the side effects that are annoying. Immortality itself comes with its own problems.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Like watching everyone you know die.
I was going to say dealing with inflation, but you know what? That's better.
It's hard to be close to people when you know you'll eventually lose them. I think I said earlier that you grow numb, but that comes after dealing with a lot of pain. People often isolate themselves after that.
Well, everyone deals with loss. It's just a matter of when, really. No one can escape that, not even humans. When my friend's mother died, they didn't talk to anyone for weeks. But then I reached out to them, and I said that I was there for them. We started hanging out again, and we talked about it a little bit, but really, they just needed to know that someone was there for them to get it through. You guys have to talk to people more, at least to each other.
Exactly. That's why I formed this group. I think annual isn't really enough, but they all said they were busy. Mental health is important, especially when you don't have to worry about physical. Excuse me. I said I was up for it.
You?
Yeah. Why is everyone so surprised by this? I have emotions. You do? Oh, shut up, Catherine. You're over here worried about mirrors and inflation. You need to hear emotionless. It's you. Well, at least I that make fun of others who talk to me about their problems.
We got off track again! What a surprise!
Okay, someone else needs to go. Catherine, would you like to talk? Or Sarah?
You know what? I will go. You think being a vampire is all lollipops and rainbows, Nora?
Yeah.
That we can do whatever we want? Well, like I said, I was born in 1600s. My family was one of the first to move to America. We were Puritans. And that was a big no-no in England. One of the guys that came with us was a vampire. Turned
trying to get away from some bad thing he had done. I fell in love. I was ignorant and a fool. He turned me, said he wanted to be together forever. A year later, he left without saying goodbye. There was no way to go back to the way that I was before. And a few years later, everyone else found out what I was and shunned me. Even my own family. You know, you think people would have been through so much would know better? But they didn't. So, I left and hung out with a few different Native American tribes for a couple of decades. The point of the story is that humans don't change. Ever. They always hate someone for no other reason than the fact that they exist. And history is doomed to repeat itself over and over again. And it's nice that your lives are so short because you don't have to see the pattern and can lie to yourself saying progress is being made. Oh, and people really suck. But we don't have time to get into that. Do we? Agnes.
What?
A story for another time. So, everything is pointless and humans will never tolerate you guys. Pretty much. Yeah, I don't believe it. Believe what you want, but it's the truth. Prove it. You want me to prove that humans are intolerant? Why don't you just look at all of humanity ever? There's always someone they don't like for other than the fact that they exist. Well, yeah. I rest my case. But, you're not done. Things are getting better, slowly, and eventually humans might not even bat an eye at an immortal being walking among them. Someday, they might even look to you for wisdom. That is a bad idea. I don't trust any of these guys to give good advice. Oh yeah? And what about yourself? Oh God, even less so. So, I shouldn't listen to any of what you just said? Oh no. Listen to that there. That was genuine gold. Everything else's quality is questionable.
Good to know.
Anyway, I still believe that if you were to be turned into a vampire, you'd find out about humanity the hard way. Alright, turn me so that I can prove you wrong. Sit down. You didn't listen to any of that? Nope. I just poured out my heart and soul for nothing.
Well, I'm proud of you. I think that's the most we've heard you talk about your past ever.
Ugh. See, that's why we have this, so we can talk about these things together. And to a 12-year-old girl as well. Apparently, I'm 15. We are trying to stop her from making a bad decision. She's just not listening. Or maybe you're just not convincing.
So much rudeness in such a small package.
I'm direct, not rude. There is a difference. People waste so much time with pleasantries, but my time is limited, so why not just get directly to the point?
Because the little things add up to a much better experience. You'll miss what makes life worth living if you just rush through everything.
If you made me a vampire, I could stop, smell the roses, slow down to enjoy life.
I don't think anything could cure your attitude.
Well, I don't really care.
Well, I think you're both being rude. You should both take the time to see where the other is coming from. Deborah, Laura has her mindset on this one thing, even though it's horrible and not a good plan. And Nora, Deborah's just trying to think rationally and reasonably here. Unlike you.
Well, that was harsh.
What? No, that wasn't mean. Was it?
It was, but it's the truth. Nora, you are just thinking about this in the short-term effects, the most your child brain can handle. But once the original excitement about immortality wears off, you are left with nothing but a pointless existence, filled with challenges and limitations.
Well, my little child brain is smart enough to come up with workarounds for all of these small, insignificant problems you guys keep mentioning. This is immortality. There are tales and legends of people spending their entire lives trying to find this. It's the philosopher's stone of existence, the holy grail of mankind.
But it's not worth that.
You just seem bitter because you've been wasting all this time. I, for one, have not been wasting it. Let's just put it out there that I've created a successful small business and get to live my days in comfort. Exactly. You don't seem too damaged, so why are you so against this? Because you're not weighing the pros and the cons. You aren't evaluating this huge change properly. You blinded yourself and came sorely unprepared. I am not unprepared. Fine! Let's walk through the pros and cons together. Fine. We'll start with the pros. Would you like to list those off? Sure. It's simple. Immortality. I won't die. I can watch humanity grow, technology evolve. I can visit everywhere and meet millions of different people. I can experience the world forever. That sure sounds enticing, yeah, doesn't it? But now we have to go through the cons. Anyone, just shout something out.
No mirrors!
Not the best place to start, but yes, no mirrors.
You judge, but without mirrors, one can slowly lose a grip on one's sense of self. You forget who you are once you can't put a face to your own name. Your grip on reality fades slowly. Your concept of self becomes abstract rather than concrete. No mirrors are a big deal.
They really aren't. You just gave me a headache from being so overwhelmingly extra.
Alright, no mirrors. What else? Oh!
Drinking blood. It's such a savage practice. Oh, how I wish to eat real food again. We're about to remind Penelope here. Oh, maybe never see her again.
I take a bit of offense to that, but yes, no more food. The only thing you'll ever taste again is the iron-rich taste of blood.
Nora, you should really think about that one. Think about it. You're missing out on a lot with no sense of taste. You'll have no more chocolate, or pizza, or bacon, or cake, or steak.
I think she gets it. Anyone else?
Watching all her family and friends die? Why do we keep forgetting about that? It's a pretty big con.
Yes, it is. Nora, have you really thought about that? And the effect it could have on your life? Some people fall into depression after a single major death in their life. Do you really think you'll be okay after losing everyone? I will make it through, just as they would have wanted me to. You really don't care about that? I do! Stop trying to make me sound so heartless. I've taken that fact into account already. And the no mirrors and the blood. But in the grand scheme of things, those don't matter. Okay, well, they matter, but weighing the pros against the cons, the pros still win. Happy now? No, not at all. What are you going to do with your eternal life? And don't say something general like experiences or whatever you said earlier. What exactly is your plan, Miss Committee? Well, first, I plan on traveling, discovering the world under the cover of darkness, and then I'll settle down and do whatever calls to me. And how do you plan on traveling? Oh look, I've got time.
That sounds exhausting.
And for food, I'll hunt.
Do you even know how to hunt?
I'll learn.
Doesn't that sound like something you should do first?
If you need it, I can sell you blood, but it costs actual money. Are you able to pay for it? No, but my parents could.
Wait, do they know about this? Like, I mean,
already made a deal with me, and if you try to go back on it, I'll just go searching for the redneck vampires, or whatever he calls them.
But you don't even know where they are. And even if you did, you have no way of getting that far out in the country.
How far exactly?
At least a few hours by car, but if you...
Honey, you need to stop talking.
Sorry.
Nora, we don't plan on going back on our word. We're just trying to give you all the facts. One of which is that you haven't thought of a plan for after. That doesn't matter! I will have plenty of time to come up with a detailed plan. This would open doors for me, endless possibilities. So you think. So I know.
And how would you know that? Oh my goodness, you are one ignorant child.
I am not a child.
I'm pretty sure you are.
I am 15. That's considered to be a teenager.
That's worse. I think what they're trying to say is that you're still growing. You can't fully grasp the consequences of your actions.
I understand what I'm doing here. I might not have all the details planned out, but nobody does. Can you say that you have all the details figured out for your eternity?
Well, no, but
That's exactly what I thought.
there's a huge difference.
There isn't! I can't plan for the rest of my future, and neither can any of you.
You know, she kind of sounds like you used to, Sarah, a few decades ago. The way you
I
used
do not sound like her!
always interrupt me.
You can't plan for everything, but there's a huge difference between having a plan and just waiting to see what calls to you.
Really? I bet none of you have a plan for any of the rest of your eternities.
Actually, that's a good idea. We could go around and talk about what we've done and what we plan to do with our futures.
I don't think that's the best method of convincing her. We might want to continue to discuss the cons of our current lives.
Well, it actually could work. A lot of us don't have the prettiest past, and others, namely William, don't have the most promising future.
I'll have you know, I plan on getting into the theater.
You know what? That might actually work. They're almost as dramatic as you are.
Exactly. I have experience.
And how do you plan on auditioning?
Pardon?
Are you going to tell them you're a vampire, or are you just going to say you can't work while the sun is out?
Yeah, that doesn't sound suspicious.
And what if they ask for your age, or they see you have no reflection? What then?
I'm working on the details.
Being a successful vampire such as myself requires constant vigilance and innovation, which is why I created a business that fits with my lifestyle. No one wakes up in the morning and thinks, I think I'm going to start selling blood. But you can use your situation to your advantage. My business keeps me in the company of others like me, preventing me from exposure, and it helps others lead normal lives. Normal currency in exchange for not normal service. People don't have to go hunting in the woods anymore and can instead get office jobs. As for my future, I plan on expanding outwards. Maybe Europe. I'll convert people from a savage lifestyle of sucking and stealing and hiding to normal things like taxes and desk jobs.
Why are you glorifying taxes?
Better than murder, isn't it?
That's a really low bar.
Good enough for advertisement purposes.
Actually, how do you advertise?
It's mostly for business cards.
It's less illegal. Do taxes instead. Penelope's humanely drawn animal blood. Wow, you put that on a card.
It's efficient and to the point. It works.
Aren't we trying to convince Nora that she doesn't want this life?
I told you this wasn't a good idea.
Okay, how about someone else goes? Bryce and Sarah pretty much already went. Lillian, how about you tell us a little bit about your life?
Sure. Well, I've stayed very close to my family throughout my life. I'm currently living with my great niece. I do a lot of work around the house for her, and And I made a garment back after she can have fresh food. She makes stuff ready for me to buy blood from Penelope, and I just try to make her life as easy as possible. When she gets sick of me, I'll find another family member to live with. This system has worked for me so far. I get to stay close with my family, and I get to take care of them as much as they let me. They love hearing stories about their great-grandparents, mother, aunts, and uncles as children. I help keep my family close, and that's why I found okay with.
That really doesn't sound that bad.
No, it's not, but sometimes it's a lot.
What exactly do you mean by that?
You don't understand yet. Watching everything change, technology improving, culture shifting. It's just a lot, and when you don't grow with it,
You feel like a rock stuck in a stream while everything else rushes past you.
you feel stuck.
Well, why don't you just grow with it? Keep up with technology and pop culture. Change as the world does.
Well, just so you know, we try.
I do. But we all try. I still firmly believe that fun is one of humanity's greatest achievements. But, keeping up with the world isn't the same as, growing with it.
It's not something you can really explain. It's a feeling. No description really fits.
Well, when I'm a vampire, I'll come up with a better explanation than it's unexplainable. It's like homesickness for a time that no longer exists for people that aren't here anymore.
It's a deeper kind of sadness.
Aww, William, no one was asking you.
So, I can talk without someone explicitly asking me to. You don't have to be so mean.
Don't I? Okay. Keeping up with culture is one thing, but I don't think you really need to keep up with technology. I still have a flip phone and it works just fine.
Oh, me too. Just the other day, my great niece was showing me how things her smarty phone to do. It's crazy that she can keep track of all that. But I've seen the news. They keep all your data from those Instabooks and Twitter chats. The stuff they can find out about you, it's scary.
You sound like my grandma. A couple years back, when she first retired, we got her first ever smartphone, and I got stuck teaching her how to do everything. It was really funny.
I've had to do that too. They're so confused.
You shouldn't judge her for that. You didn't grow up with these things. How are you supposed to know how to work them? I can't know something I was never taught.
It's still a little funny.
We'll see if you guys will say that 100 years from now and they invent time travel or something crazy like that and you don't know what buttons to push to get home.
Yeah, guys. Or you could, I don't know, keep up with technology and not be lame.
That's an option too. But you don't need to though. My life is just fine without all those fancy doohickeys. Those gizmos, the thingamabobs, they just take away from what's really important in life. Kids these days don't do anything. They're always staring down at their screens.
Now you sound like my grandpa. Back in my day, kids played outside and got dirty. Now they all stay inside fighting each other in their video games. Okay, Boomer, what do?
Just so you know, I came before the baby boomers, sweetheart. And for your information, I'm a seamstress. I make dresses based on different time periods. Most of the 50s though, very popular for plays.
And for what? Are you one of Penelope's clients as well?
If I'm an independent. I live in the country, so I get to keep a bunch of chickens around. It's messy, but it works.
See, your guys' lives honestly don't sound that bad. Maybe not now, but it took me a lot of effort to get where I am.
Like Sarah, I was kicked out when I was younger. My parents had no time or patience or time to deal with the creature of the night. I was on my own for a long time. I even lost myself for a while there. But anyways, I fought tooth and nail to get my life back, just to regain some form of normalcy. I am still building a future for myself, but I like to think that my life is going up from here. But there isn't a guarantee.
Your parents don't sound like they were the best of people.
I never thought that though. Until then, there was no sign that they would ever get rid of me. They were loving and caring and amazing until they weren't. Well, my
parents are different though. They would never leave me. They love me no matter what.
Perhaps, but you never know how someone reacts to a situation arises. See, when I was a child, the existence of our kind was an indisputable fact. But today's so-called science with their evolution, their periodic tables, and viruses thinks we aren't real. But when I was a child, the existence of vampires was widely acknowledged. I lived in a small town and we never experienced the additional effects that vampires originally came with, such as death, livestock and general terror and occasional murder. So my friends and I used to discuss how cool we thought they were. We were such ignorant little children. We had nothing better to do, so we formed a group dedicated to tracking vampires and studying them. A cult, if you will. We were normally very off-base and never found any. But one time, I did find one.
And they bit you?
Oh, she bit me!
That sounds nice. Very easy and convenient. Long debates at 4 in the morning. And just so you guys know, I have to chug like 5 Pepsis to be awake for this.
Must be nice. I miss soda.
Continuing with my story. I was shocked when I was little, but I wasn't scared. I knew my first thought of vampires. Why should I be scared? Well, they weren't as accepting as you thought they'd be. Yes! But stop interrupting me! Anyway,
I'm sorry. With the direction you were going, ending of the story was pretty obvious. But, I'm sorry, Catherine, I didn't think you'd be this offended. Please, continue.
You spoiled the ending! It's not its fun now!
Catherine, we've heard this story before. You've told it to us like 5 times.
So? She still ruined it. You know what? You should not pretend to be surprised when I finish. As I was saying before I was so wrongly interrupted. I was so excited when I went home to tell my friends some amazing news. They had always been so dedicated to tracking vampires, I thought anything they'd be excited. But when I told them, they were disgusted. They ran away from me in horror. I guess it goes to show people don't always do what you think they will. You can always be surprised and well. Not in a good way.
Whoa! I didn't see that coming. And what an educational story! A shocking conclusion. I learned something very important today.
You are so much to deal with.
My parents aren't like yours, Deborah. And they're not like Catherine's friends. And they're certainly not like the people in Sarah's town. They would never leave or abandon me just because I made a decision that they don't support. My grandma did not want my dad to marry my mom, but he did anyways, and she still loves him. Sure, Thanksgiving and Christmases are a little bit awkward, but we find a way to make it through. It's my job to make the big decisions in my own life.
The powders are slamming you in the face, and yet you still refuse to listen because you are different. It's like talking to a blank wall, or a 5-year-old.
Or maybe I just know my own situation better than a bunch of strangers who met me an hour ago. And by the way, I am 15!
on poor decisions for an eternity.
You're right, we need a new plan.
You know what? While you guys do that, I'm gonna go call my cousin to wish her a happy birthday. Honey, it's 4 in the morning. I know. I told my cousin that I would be awake at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I would be wishing her a happy birthday at 4 in the morning. She thought that I was joking. She ought to know better by now. Does anyone have any new tactics?
We need to evaluate what she really wants and why, and then break those feelings down to their sources and deal with that.
Oh my God.
That sounds kind of manipulative. Brad, it's called therapy, but thank you.
What exactly does she want?
Simple. Immortality.
But why? We have to go deeper.
Didn't she say that she just wanted to do things? I mean, there's not much depth to that.
That means she's worried about running out of time. She wants to live her life to the fullest. And her plan was to join the technically not alive? Yeah. That didn't sound flawed at all.
She didn't seem to care about the no heartbeat thing, though.
Well, no. She doesn't care about technicalities. Only her own version of reality.
Exactly. We need to explain to her why those wishes won't be met. How we're not alive? I mean, we tried that already. No, not that. We need to explain how we miss out on so many experiences. How this life doesn't come with all the adventure she wants it to.
Like garlic.
Always with the garlic.
How about food in general?
Those aren't adventures! Are you guys even listening? Honestly, no. Not really.
Alright, I'm back. It took me 4 calls for my cousin to finally pick up. But then I sang happy birthday and hung up before she could start threatening me. The floor is all yours. Wow me with a big, convincing presentation that is sure to change my mind. I believe in you.
Come on, guys, think. What exactly are we missing that every human gets?
I already discussed the benefits of a steady job, though I do still have that.
How about the ability to die of old age?
That's it.
It is?
That's your argument.
Not death, old age.
Wait, I am hundreds of years old, which, by my calculations, is many more years than that of a puny human like Nora.
But we don't grow as we get older.
Life is the greatest adventure of all.
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of glad that I won't get wrinkles as I grow old.
No, I mean, we don't experience the adventure of age, of more responsibilities, new stages of life, personal changes.
Retirement.
Yes, things like that. College, employment, moving, hobbies, deep friendships, family, and community.
Nora, if you were to become a vampire, you would miss out on the great adventure that is humanity. You would miss out on the very things you're trying so hard to get. Experiences. You know, you're not going to live if you're not actually alive. I don't know why that wasn't obvious to you.
Well, just because the life that I know isn't typical, that doesn't make it wrong.
No, definitely not. But you do obviously seem to care about these things. The fond way you've talked of holiday dinners, graduations, friendships, birthdays.
Birthdays? You guys have way more of those than humans do.
But they lose their potency. Have you ever seen anyone in their 40s throw a party for their birthday? Imagine being in your 400s. The only reason that old people even celebrate their birthdays is because they know that they're running out. And our birthdays don't come with important milestones. When you're 16, you can drive. 18, you're a legal adult. 21, drinking, and so on. When you're 327, Most people stop counting by then.
There's so many things you lose when you never really get to grow up. Your life just stops. You never reach your future.
But what if I don't have enough life? That is why I need this!
No one's life is ever long enough. You could live forever, just like this, and never be fulfilled.
That's why you can't limit yourself like this. There is something great waiting for you. Out there, not in here.
Live your life to the fullest. Do what you can with the time you have.
Succeed where you're able. Enjoy yourself. Make some friends.
Make an actual plan for your life.
Have fun.
Make a difference.
But you don't need to be scared of running out of time. Humanity is full of so many joys. So enjoy those while you can. Grow old though. It will be worth it. To improve, to move on, to change, that's your adventure. Those are the experiences you want so desperately. Let them come. Sometimes life will suck, and you'll feel like you haven't done enough. But just keep trying. Don't take the easy way out like this. You don't need to be a vampire. You're fine just as you are. Growing old. You really think that it's worth it?
Definitely.
Well, I guess I could wait. Let myself get a little bit older. Maybe go through a few more of those milestones you were talking about. Before I made a decision like this.
Absolutely.
Hey, wait! I'm not saying no forever. In the future, I might change my mind.
And we'll be here if you do.
Good. We did it! We finally got this stubborn child to budge! Hey! This was your idea. I have to admit I had very little confidence in us succeeding. You know what? We did it! That's what matters! You know, this is actually fun. Do you guys mind if I join you next time? Yes! No, we do not. No, we do not. It was fun having you. You got these people to talk more than I ever have.
Yeah. And you got William to shut up a couple of times. That was nice.
You're right.
This has been fun, but it's getting really early and we all need to go. You're right. Same time again next year?
Yes, but maybe we could try to sneak in a few more before then?
Sure thing.
Possibly. Well, let me know if you change the date. Sure, I'll update the website.
Yeah, about that. Maybe a public website isn't the best way to communication.
If you want, I can show you how to set up a Remind, Agnes.
That would be great. You know, I'm kind of jittery from all that caffeine I drank.
Fare thee well, friends. Parting is such sweet sorrow, and
William! You don't have to be so dramatic. You're only 35 years old.
blasphemy! I am as old as time itself!
You are not. I've met your family.
Right? Maybe you're right.
I always am. Goodbye, everyone. Maybe we can be this productive next time.